Hey everybody, it's John from Seattle Coffee Gear. I'm in the commercial kitchen today, and we're doing another video in our series on latte art. Today we're going to talk about the Tulip, which is either the intermediate design or the most advanced design. Some people find a Rosetta easier, some people find a Tulip easier, but hopefully this video will help you get better at it, or if you've been practicing the heart, maybe this is the next step, because this is kind of just a couple extra hearts really is all a tulip is. So we'll talk about what makes it different, how to pour it, and then we'll do some variations on it at the end here. If you haven't watched either our tips and tricks video that we did a while ago or our two other videos, at least the video on the heart, make sure to check those two videos out before this one, because I'm probably going to gloss over some of the things that I go over more in depth in the heart video and in the tips and tricks video. So with all that, let's get started. We're going to start with a cup and a pitcher, and we're going to have both with water like we start most of our videos, just so we can work on the mechanics, and then we'll jump to espresso and milk. I'm going to grab a cup and a pitcher, and I'll be right back. I'm back. Well, not for you guys. That was a quick edit. But anyways, I have a pitcher, and that has water in it, and then I have one of these dual walled glasses. I don't like these for pouring, and I've broken like 4 of them. Sorry, Gail. It'll be good for you guys to see kind of the mechanics of it. So I'm going to pretend that that's my espresso in the cup there. And then what we're going to do is what we've been doing, which is pour in the center, get your kind of base layer set up there, and then break when you're about halfway full. If you're using a smaller cup, maybe like a third of the way full, I'll be using a smaller cup later on. So probably a third of the way full is what I'll do there. And then you want to keep that water right at the lip of the cup. So then that way you can get super close to the surface before you start pouring. That'll help with definition, as always. And then you want your handle to be creating that center line across the cup. And you want the handle of your pitcher to kind of intersect with that and give you a nice target to aim for there. So when I'm going to be doing this tulip, I'm going to aim for the center of the cup when I start to pour. And the simple tulip I'm going to be doing is just like a 3-stack tulip. So I'm going to pour one, and then a second one, and then my top one, and I'm going to pull through. So you're going to pour in the center of the cup and get that first layer. I'm probably not close enough to actually make that happen. And then pour a little bit back from that and push a little bit towards the end. And then you're going to get your last one and then fill up the cup and pull on through. So that's the basic mechanics of a tulip. Let me do that and spill water everywhere. So again, that's my espresso. I'm filling up the cup about halfway full or a third of the way full. Pour right in the center, stop, a little bit back, push a little bit, stop, and then get your top as you're spinning the cup, rotating the cup, and then pull on through. This is a big cup, so it's not the best example. And you'll see more in a second once we use espresso and milk. But that's the basic technique. It's just one dot, the next dot, push a little bit, then the top dot, and go on through. If your milk texture is good, and your espresso is good, if everything's good and your flow rate's good, you should be able to get a nice wrap out of that first pour, and then your next pour should kind of push it around so it'll fill up the cup nicely. A lot of that's dependent, like I said, on your pour speed. We talked about pour velocity in the Rosetta video. And then it's going to be dependent on how good your milk texture is. So how thick your foam is, how good your microfoam is, the bubble size, all that. And then also if you have fresh crema to pour into, that's helpful as well. But I'm going to grab a different cup that's a little bit easier for me to pour into. Brew a shot, froth some milk, and we'll pour some latte art. So here we go. All right. I have my portafilter all loaded up with coffee. We're using the Latte espresso today, which is a nice like medium, maybe leaning a little bit dark at the moment, roast, which gives me some great crema to pour into, good contrast. It is easier to pour good looking latte art in a darker roasted coffee, but that doesn't mean you cannot do it with a light roast coffee. So keep that in mind. And I'm gonna get about 30 grams of espresso out. So in this 4.5 ounce glass, I'll have about 3.5 ounces of room to work with to do my actual design. This is the not neutral cortado glass. And then I have the fellow Eddie frothing pitcher here I'll be using. So here we go. Alrighty, looking good there. So as I've mentioned in all of my videos, you want to have enough milk in this pitcher to just finish that drink. So I need about 3-4 ounces of milk. So I'm going to pour quite a bit of that off. Probably use it for another drink at some point. And as you can see, there's my cup with the espresso in it. Turn sideways there. I'm going to bring it a little bit down here. So we start by filling up the glass and swirling around to mix the espresso with the milk, and then stop once it's about halfway full. Aim for the center of the cup, and you're going to pour a dot right now, just like you'd be pouring a heart, but you aren't going to pull through. So just stop, cut off, and then go to the center of the cup again, pour another dot, and kind of push. So move the pitcher forward while you're pouring that dot, and then stop. And then do your final one up top. And always start higher than you think you need to. Otherwise, it'll end up being too far down in the cup. Raise up and then pull through just like you would the rest of your pours. And there you have a 3-layer tulip. So that's the basic tulip. If you're practicing a tulip, start with this and make sure you're all symmetrical. Be better than me and be in the center of the cup. And yeah, work on that for a little while, and then you can move into some of these other designs. But why don't we talk about some of those other designs? I'll grab a different cup now that we've showed this, and we'll dive in a little deeper. All right, this next design we're gonna do is gonna be a wing tulip. That's probably the most common thing people will do, either as their first tulip on accident or as the next iteration after they master that one that we just did. But basically, you're just gonna wiggle for the base, kind of like you would for that rosetta like we did, but then you're gonna stop after that's set up and then just pour those 2 dots and then a heart at the top and pull through. So we'll do that now and see what it looks like. All right, so I got my cup here. Turn around so you guys can see what I'm doing. Stop, and then I'm just gonna wiggle to get that nice wing. Pour, pour, and right on through. And that is what a kind of fuzzy wing tulip looks like. My milk was a little chunky, but as you can see, it has this full wrap on it and there are lines there. So that's the wing. And then I had my middle and then my top heart there. So that would be a wing 1-1 is what you'd call it, because this isn't stacked at all. Because if I wanted to, I could stack another heart into each of these, and then it would be the wing base, and then 2 and 2, basically. So generally that's kind of how people talk about tulips when they're explaining what the pour looks like, but that would be a wing tulip. So I'll dump this and we'll go to another one. All right, this next one is going to be what's called a frame tulip. So it's going to look like that first tulip, just that 3 stack. But what it's going to be is a dot, and then I'm going to do a wing into that dot, and then I might stack another one if I can get it, and then I'll finish it out with one last heart at the top. So the frame is that first one that kind of wraps around and frames the whole thing, and then a wing, and then 2 more stacks on that. So see if I can get it in one try on video. Pour off a little more. All right, and here we go. Base. I have my frame. A little lopsided. That. And there we go. So that is a frame tulip there. So we have that frame around the outside edge, the wing, and then my 2 stacks there. So that would be a frame tulip. I will go ahead and dump this and we'll move on to the next one. All right, this next one is just going to be an example of how you can get pretty creative with tulips. So I'm just going to do a wing for the base, and then I'm going to do a wing for the center, and then we'll just stack as much as we can at the top, just so you guys can see kind of how creative you can do. You can put a stack in the center, you can put a wing at the top. It's just whatever you want or can do. So a lot of people like the tulip, use it in competition because there's a lot of room for expression in it. So why don't we jump in, you guys can see. Knock some bubbles out there. All right, and here we go. Kind of got a little sloppy on the top end there, but here we have a wing, and then we have a wing in the center, and then my sloppy triple stack at the top, just because of the angle we're filming at gets a little bit tricky there. But that would be an example of just the creativity that you can have when pouring a tulip. Again, why people like to use them in competition. So there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more of our videos, check out some of the other latte art videos we did on the heart, the Rosetta, and then that tips and tricks video. We also did one just on milk steaming a little while ago. We did one on to-go cups if you're a barista. You might not be a barista watching this, but we also do consult with people and sell commercial equipment. So if you want to open up a coffee shop, coffee trailer, or if you just have questions about coffee and stuff, we're happy to chat with you. Give us a call, send us an email, chat with us on our website. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like it, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications if you want to see more stuff. Leave a comment down below and we'll try to get back to any questions that you have. And thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.